10 weeks into the season, we can start to pass the decisions made to raise the ceiling of the pitching staff, without as solid a floor. Gerrit Cole has been excellent, just as we all figured he would be. Domingo Germán has had a strong start to the season. Kluber threw a no-hitter, probably the single brightest highlight of the year for the club so far. Of course, a start later, Kluber re-injured his right shoulder, the shoulder that held him down to just one inning of work last year. He's out until late July at best. This combination of Kluber's injury and Tythlon's ineffectiveness play a big part in the team's declining playoff odds, although it must be said that a bad offense is the biggest culprit. Still, Tythlon's depth chart's projections peg him for a full half win less than at the start of the season, and Kluber's drops off a full win. When the team is needing to claw its way back to contention, those potential wins matter. Yes, the team has to hit, but regression on the pitching side deepens the already present hole. The tough part for the Yankees is that it's unclear where they can go from here. There's nothing they can really do about Kluber. He was pitching well, then he got hurt. The only real option is to wait for him to come back and see if that good pitching returns with him, and unfortunately, his best-case return timetable means the club isn't going to have much time, if any, to engage a contingency in the trade market should Kluber be less than his output at the start of the year. At the very least, you can see the impact losing Kluber, the de facto number 2 starter, has had over the past few weeks. In May, when Kluber was about as good a pitcher as you can be, 2.27 ERA while averaging more than 6 innings a start, pairing him with Gerrit Cole gave the Yankees a terrific 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. It also critically bought time for players like Tythlon to get it together, which we'll return to in a moment. Now, with no Kluber, the lack of rotation depth is being exposed. Tythlon, meanwhile, does have a minor league option, and for a while I thought it would be worthwhile sending him to Scranton to work on his fastball and slider. You don't just go from throwing 4-seam, 2-seam at pretty much the same rates, to 4-seam exclusively. That's a tough transition to make, and doubly so when you've rebuilt your mechanics. In an ideal world, it would probably be beneficial for Tythlon to make 3 or 4 starts at AAA. He could figure out both how to work with the 4-seam and what he wants to do with breaking and off-speed pitches, since by his own admission, he doesn't fully trust his secondary offerings. Gerrit Cole is going to end up at or near the top of the Cy Young ballot. Maybe Germán rights the worrying trends of his season, and Montgomery keeps up his improvement. There are still 2 holes in this rotation, and with a team struggling to score runs, pitching regression really hurts right now. This is the downside to a high-risk offseason move, or rather, 2 high-risk moves. We spent a lot of time wondering over the winter wondering what would happen if Kluber got hurt, or Tythlon couldn't pull it together coming off his second Tommy John surgery. We had 2 months of a rotation that was performing to those high upside expectations, but as June has rolled around, Kluber got hurt and Tythlon can't pull it together.